A successful first week for Magnet students. We'll show you some events that occurred during our annual Back to School Week. And also, with the start of our first school year, we want to welcome our new principal for Rockdale County High School, Dr. O.J. Dennis. We have an exclusive interview with him on his previous jobs and what he plans to do as the new principal. As the school year starts, so does our annual tradition at Magnet, and some are already coming up. We'll let you know what's coming up and how you can participate. And a small note on us as we start our first full service for Magnet News. Welcome to Magnet News. My name is Kelsey.
I'm Melissa.
Our first news story is on the annual Magnet Family Movie Night.
We invite Magnet families to join us on the evening of Friday, August 18th for the annual Magnet Family Movie Night. This event starts at 3:15 with a social get-together. We'll be showing the Super Mario Bros. Movie starting at 5:15, running until 6:50. Tickets are $10 for students and $15 for adults. Included with your ticket is 2 slices of pizza, a bag of chips, and a can of soda. We encourage families to bring blankets, lawn chairs, and pillows as well. Tickets can be purchased by the link on the newsletter or by scanning the QR code on the flyers around the school. We hope to see many of you guys there. Now to the Magnet Fund.
Dues are $220 per student. If you have multiple students, each additional student is $120. We request that every family pay dues as Magnet Fund supports all Magnet students. This year, the fund is planning on upgrading the cafeteria sound system, purchasing an outdoor classroom with pavilion and picnic tables. Parents, are you interested in lending your support to the Magnet Fund? If so, please see the link on the newsletter to share your availability in helping us with fundraisers, communications, family engagement, or however you can share your talents with the Magnet community. In regard to how Magnet communicates to our families, here is a statement from Ms. Basket. Please pause the video to read now. With the start of a school year, we wanted to welcome our new Rockdale County High School principal, Dr. O.J. Dennis. We were able to speak to Dr. Dennis this week. He talked about his life career, his vision, and his vision for Rockdale County High School. Here is the interview. Joined today by our new principal, Dr. Dennis. I'm going to let him introduce himself just a little bit, and then we'll get started on the questions.
Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Dr. O.J. Dennis Jr. I am a high school principal. I'm the principal for Rockdale County High School, which I'm so excited to be here. I have 25 years in education, 12 as a principal, and 1 as a director of principals in secondary education. So I have some experience that I hope that I can bring over to the Rock and Magnet, because we're one, right? And I want to make sure that I give you the best of me, and I hope I can get the same in return of all the students.
So what inspired you to be a teacher?
Interesting question. My dad was an educator, and I thought being a teacher was boring, but I found myself always in the classroom in the summer with him, and I see how he works hard and what he received from students, the love that he received. I said, I want that. I didn't want to do that, but I found myself, becoming a math major in college, and I didn't know what to do, and so I became a math teacher by his direction. He said, that's what you're going to do. I said, I'm not doing that. He said, well, try it for a year and then see if you like it. I loved it. So I've never turned back since. So now I have an opportunity to run a school. I have a passion for education. I actually love what I do. And I love being with students because, you guys are funny. Like, I'm entertained every day. So I look forward to that every day. So I appreciate that.
What are you looking forward to most this school year?
Excellence.
Okay.
Being the best that we can be at the Rock, because I reviewed the student body data. I talked to students during lunch in the hallway, and my infamous hall sweeps that I like to do, but to make sure that we all get to class on time. But just the conversations that are taking place. The student body is special, and I want to make sure that they're supported in all the endeavors in how we can become the best in Rockdale County, period. I want to crush the competition, right? But just become the best in the state of Georgia, and of course, become #1 in the country. And I think that we can actually do that. I've done that before in other schools. So the makeup is for the taking. Like the rock, the student body, you have what it takes. So we just have to put a serious plan together and we all join in and rock at the rock.
And you mentioned that you have over 25 years of experience. What was the hardest challenge you would face, especially with COVID, with having to navigate the teaching world?
Well, that's a good question. Pivoting. Education has changed, and we can't do things the way we thought we could. We have, pandemic opened our eyes to the possibilities of education, how we can reach children, how we can make sure that our technology is where it should be. How do we use technology to enhance our education experience, right? So I think the hardest part was just looking at the needs of students outside of school. Sometimes we focus on school only, but not look at what's the home, the commute to school, the activity, the sports. So those are the things that I think was a little harder, but it was a learning experience and how to improve ourselves.
And my last question, what advice would you have for any students that maybe be struggling or they're trying to navigate school, especially the seniors with figuring out what schools they want to go to, scholarships, etc.?
Breathe. Life's too short. Enjoy the ride, because I know it's hard sometimes. We're thinking that if we don't get into the school we want to, or we didn't finish an essay, it's the end of the world. We want to put our best foot forward, but at the same time, we want to keep things in perspective and enjoy the process, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime process. So I believe that when students just look at the bigger picture, everything will work out. But they have to put in an effort, though, in order to achieve their goal.
Thank you for joining us. And once again, this is our principal, Dr. Dennis. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dennis, for speaking with us. We hope you have a successful run as principal of Rockdale County High School. At this time, we want to recognize everyone that has helped us pull off a successful back-to-school week, including Mrs. Basket, Dr. Clark, student council, teachers and staff, and everyone else that made it this week an enjoyable one. We also want to formally welcome Mr. Dufresne and Miss Christie as Rockdale Magnet teachers. We also want to welcome back the rest of our awesome Magnet teachers and staff. Thank you all for what you do.
Finally, before we end today's Magnet News, we want to take a moment to thank and acknowledge ourselves. This is our first full year doing Magnet News, and we are extremely grateful for the support and guidance of our Magnet teachers, especially Miss Basket, who gave us the green light on this project in the first place. We are also very thankful for the feedback and encouragement of our Magnet peers. We hope that Magnet News will continue to grow and improve as we use this platform of communication and collaboration amongst the students for Magnet, staff, and families. If you have any suggestions or comments for Magnet News, please feel free to contact us on our email address that will now be on the screen. We appreciate your input and involvement. And with that, that's Magnet News for Friday, August 11th, 2023. Thank you for joining us, and please see the newsletter for more stories and much more. And be sure to join us for next week's edition of Magnet News. Thank you!